How you guys just gonna let me be muted this whole time? Come on now. Almost a whole minute muted? That was my whole fault. My God. Well, God. Well, I'm not gonna. I'll say the whole thing again, I guess. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another unofficial H3 waiting room. Today, we're going to be talking about the whole BBTV situation. You know, the thing from the past. As all these new lawsuits and all these different things are coming out, it's good to look back on the things that happened back then. My fucking bad. Oopsie. That was kind of stupid of me. Happens all the time. My bad. But first, we're going to look at a couple Instagram posts because I love starting with Instagram, and then we're going to look at a couple Reddit posts as well. God damn it. How do I do that so often? I always start it off with no audio, I swear. Okay, well, let's get started. We got a couple Instagram artists. I swear, I find them so regularly. I love it.
Plus, mom and dad always said I should expect girls to fight over me, right and left. But I'm looking right, and I'm looking left. Maybe they beat all of each other to death. Plus,
I was about to say, I forgot why I added this one, but it's that last line. I don't know why he said that. There's no girls around. They must have all killed each other. Okay. Next one. I was going to see if... I think this account... Is this his account? No, okay. So this is an actual account of just different artists. Okay, maybe go follow this. Insta Music Gems. Oh, this is a... Ooh. And this only has 300 followers, but they seem to be curating some good ones.
Multiple major labels told me that despite my talent, I was still too old in my mid-30s to begin a music career. Well, here's what I say to that.
My name is the Rafa.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
And I make music.
Okay, I'm kind of into it. Take like a gram of Molly and you'll probably be going crazy on this. This is actually insane. Yeah, JoJo Siwa does wish she was this edgy and cool. I fell off after the iceberg coverage, I know. I used to be more edgy. I became too woke after I learned about how to get women. I learned how to pick up chicks and stopped being such an edgy little tool. But I want to know who this guy is though. They need to drop ats. That's the only thing missing.
Multiple major labels.
You should never show your face again, dude. You should only be dressed up in that suit. Like this guy in this gimp outfit. Okay, we're going to do one more from this account because I didn't even realize that this was like a music... Oh. They have Mr. Stevens. Who's Vecna? I don't know who that is.
Forced to embrace, slowly poisoned, ever surrounded by sickness and death. Forced to embrace, everything stolen, ever being choked until our last breath.
I wasn't expecting a different singer for the chorus. He did sound exactly like Xavier Renegade Angel. Kind of impressive. Here's the thing, you don't even have to stop being an edgy tool. Well, maybe the tool part. Stop being a tool. But like, if you're just like somewhat into like, pushing the boundaries or whatever, Just do it right. Don't be such a loser. Yeah, we're gonna move on from this though, because I'm sure I could just scroll through these for hours. But yeah, go check out Insta Music Gems. They got 57 posts. That's probably 57 different artists, honestly. But I have a few of my own. Because I am the curator. Oh my god. I want to hear him. He's faster than Eminem. Wait. Who is Vecna is crazy? Sorry, I only know about Skibbity Toilet and the H3 podcast. That's it. I only know Ethan Klein and his address and his where his children go to school. No. But what'd you guys think of this? Was he faster than Eminem? Scripture. You kind of hit that shit, can't lie. I just realized that his profile picture is Britney. Pretty good. See, I don't necessarily like the music, but I like when someone puts effort into their craft. He's definitely faster than Eminem. Is he more coherent? Is he better? Maybe better, but he needs to keep practicing. He should. Keep up the work. Keep up the good work, sir. Reggae music for truth seekers. This is by Abba Alabanza. An AI generated talking head. We're just starting off so crazy.
Talking head to the iPhone. They can make it look real mind blown. Wouldn't be surprised if a fake alien invasion. Super advanced holographic technology they are making. An AI generated talking head to the iPhone. They can make it look real.
Is this AI? I hope so. Surely no human can confuse words and music styles so badly. Should this guy keep practicing? It's like I read that way too slowly because I was just listening. Gays should feel shame. This is insane, dude. What the hell? That's not very one love of you, dog. What the fuck? That was pretty insane. He should stop practicing. He should just give up on it. Okay, this is JNO.
Hey,
Only 43 likes. You see, we're coming in hot 2 days ago.
what do you think of this song?
So I'ma try again.
I'm from Hawaii.
Oh, exactly.
Not over its equal. It's called, drumroll please, So Over This. That's a good drumroll. Very nice. Not Over Its Equal. It's called.
Not Over Sequel is called whatever he just said. Now this is just a little palate cleanser, you know. We always love a good an unk with a hobby. I want to figure out what this because I mean I need to figure out what program he's using because honestly I want to just do this myself. He kind of kills it. It would just be so fun.
The substitution for the real thing, and the real thing is that which is constructive. Do you understand? FYP gave you the peak.
Oh, this is taken from Alive. Nice. I didn't realize that the first time I watched this.
Have you ever seen anything like this in your life? Have you? Talk to me.
Crushed it. Is this his account? No. Yeah, they're just posting memes. See, most of the time it's meme pages, and that's the issue. Is I want to find the original accounts so I can really fucking delve deep into it, because they don't even close enough. Welcome back, death groups. Exactly. These people exist and they're out there. What is this one? Oh, I don't know why this one says inbox. But this is System of a Down Yonder. He wants to show that System of a Down is supposed to sound like folk music, I guess. Or it's just banjo, whatever country style that is. But it to me almost it proved to me more that System of a Down sounds like Renaissance music so much that it makes a banjo sound like it's playing Renaissance music.
System of a Down on banjo, what? Yeah, that's right. They used to be a bluegrass band, I'll prove it.
Yeah, he said bluegrass, that's what he He keeps playing for a bit. I'm honestly, I'm constantly surprised by how good a banjo can sound. Because a lot of the time it just sounds really twangy, but sometimes dudes can rip. But this is another cover. And you know we love covers here.
There's a star man waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but I think he'd blow our mind. There's a star man waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, cause he knows it's ours. Why he told me, let the children lose it, let the children use it, let the children lose it. There's a
Had to let his play all the way through, you know, we had to give him the respect. He finally hit 1,000 followers. He's going up in the world, you know? Go check him out on his new song on Spotify. He's a vampire. What do you guys think of this tattoo? Honest opinions only. Is this a bad enough tattoo that you could like be mean to somebody in public? How bad does a tattoo need to be to where you can point it out and go, "Hey man, that looks like shit. That looks really bad." It's really well done. Like incredibly well done. But like, I don't know. I'd have to pass on that one. Imagine you get obese too, like you just gain a bunch of weight and you just have this on your throat. Imagine you gain a bunch of weight only in your throat. Then all of a sudden your abs have rolls. Sad day. I almost don't believe it's real because it's red, but it's almost not red enough, I feel like, for how much detail and stuff is here. But people have done crazier. That's insane. Imagine your grandpa having that tat. I could imagine it. Why not? It'll be lost in all the wrinkles and folds anyways eventually, so. Now here's a little something to ease your mind, send you some good energy. Beating Parkinson's, one electromagnetic crystal curl at a time. Now here's the thing I want you to think about. Prove that it doesn't work. Is he shaking? No. So what does that mean? This guy's an absolute unit. He built this contraption all by himself. I just realized that there's only one end to it. It's not about the weight. It's about the energy. If your phone can transmit signals based on quartz crystals, why can't this electromagnetic crystal curl help break down his Parkinson's? Exactly, no answers. Just as I thought. So there is this other clip that I do want to watch because this was really funny. I saw it on Instagram and I wanted to find the full clip of it because this guy's basically saying, this guy's a GG33, but I guess he's against Freemasons because he says the level 33 Freemasons are turning people trans, trying to like turn people trans, and Mr. Beast is the one doing. He's like one of the people behind it. It's really dumb. I looked into it more. I didn't realize the 33rd degree Freemasons are literally just like from the Scottish Rite and just have to do like a certain amount of stuff within their like group to become a 33rd degree. It's not even like, it's just like however many years you've been in it. But yeah, let's see what this guy has to say. This true conspiracy theorist.
I mean, let's talk about Elon Musk. Elon Musk is for universal healthcare. Yeah, universal healthcare. He's for he's for universal income. He's for a lot of socialist programs, and now he's championing the right. Again, I'm suspended, so it doesn't matter at this point. But all right, this is what happened with Elon. He's a far leftist.
Oh, it's skipped. It's the Mr. Beast going to hell part. That's what I meant to click on.
Let's look at Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast. Can you pull up his colors? The Mr. Beast logo. Can
you pull it up, Spencer?
This guy just talks really slow.
Yeah. That little Mr. Beast. Pull it up, and after you pull that up, pull up the transgender flag.
I don't even know what the transgender flag is.
Just put them side by side. I want the audience to actually see this.
So you think Chris Tyson thing was planned?
Oh, of course it was.
Really?
Of
he
course
was with it for a while.
Yeah, he was.
So that'd be a long plan.
Let's see if we can see these side by side.
Does it work, Spencer?
Okay.
Oh, it's not
they'll cut up the clips. Yeah. They'll cut up the clips. So anyways, if you look at Mr. Beast's logo, it's the same exact colors as a transgender flag. And then they had the 33 life path in his crew turn into a trans.
Oh, Chris
again, of course, he's a 33. So they're using the 33's influence.
See, I'm confused as to what does he mean by 33 then? Maybe he meant something else, because I thought he meant 33rd degree Freemason. Maybe he does mean something, because he's saying Chris is a 33 now.
To turn kids into trans, because when they watch that, it normalizes that content. And Mr. Beast, this goes out to you. I know you think you're doing good with that devil money you got. You know, you're giving money away. You're making a difference. You're helping people who.
He's really just saying the colors are the same just because it's pink, blue, and white, but there are clearly different shades of pink, blue, and white.
Poor. I know what you're thinking. Yo, I made a deal, but I'm actually helping people. The amount of damage you are doing, it doesn't matter how many people you help. You're going to hell, bro.
Damn.
You are going to hell, Mr. Beast. Why do you think his name is Mr. Beast? For God's sake, this is not rocket science.
I just love that people have started saying this. I've been making this joke since fucking high school. I've been saying, it's Mr. Beast. It's Mr. Beast, and he's trying to promote wealth to the world. He's not teaching you about, humanity, about, community. What he's teaching you about is to expand your wealth, to expand your monetary and your gains in this life. But that's not what the Lord wants. And it just seems so it's just like it's so perfectly like written as a joke, and I don't understand how people are like taking it so seriously. I guess a lot of people think that because you go, why would somebody who's doing something covertly put something in your face. And they go, well, they want to be overt about it. So they're going to put in these little hidden things that only the people that care about it are going to point out. But I really don't understand where it all comes from. I also find this interesting. This was only a 47-minute podcast.
This man cut a deal with the people in positions of power to turn kids into their sexual degenerates, and he's getting paid billions and billions of dollars for it.
Damn.
So it is what it is.
Realistic, though. I'm surprised.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
Was there any promotion of Chris's transition or of Ava's transition, whatever, in the Mr. Beast like content at all? I don't think they were ever just like, so we're gonna do 1,000 transition surgeries today. We're doing 1,000 double mastectomies. That's what we're doing today. I wouldn't necessarily have a problem if he did, but I feel like he's tried to keep it very family oriented to just appeal to the largest like fan base as possible. And all the stuff that he does is either kids Squid Games or going and helping communities in different parts of the disenfranchised world. Yeah, they promoted every episode. Fuck, I knew it.
He probably justifies what he's doing by giving all the blood money away. And he's probably thinking, okay, I cut this deal, but what's the best thing I can do to basically make up for it? They have to be aware of what they're doing.
Crazy.
They have to be aware of what they're doing. They're not stupid.
Yeah. I wonder if Chris is still in the videos. I've been watching him.
No, he's still in the videos. Him and Sneeko were just going at it.
I saw that. Sneeko's not a fan of that.
So this is 9 months ago. So this was a while back. Didn't Ava completely quit? I'm done.
Sneeko.
I can't do this anymore. I'm fabulously wealthy. And people are finding out about my degenerate past. Woe is me. If anything, I think the transition from being the degenerate Chris to becoming Ava, who they really like want to be, it shows like the path that the person that they were before was someone that was repressed and was almost like expressing it through deviancy because they were repressing their actual like feelings. And I feel like people miss that part to just be like, well, the deviancy is in the transitioning.
Was part of Mr. Beast's crew.
I remember that. Got rid of him.
Yep, they got rid of him, and the man turned to God, and the other one turned to transgenderism.
Don't you think they put a lot of these celebrities in this position, though?
Yes. And again, we don't know why Chris did it. Did he do it for money? Did they put a gun to his head and say, if you don't do this, you're going to have an accident? We don't know what it did. God will judge you. The prime.
No, I know that it was because of the pedophile stuff. I'm just saying that she's definitely not there anymore. And it was once it actually became an issue of like an actual issue. Being trans is not an issue. So once it wasn't an issue of promoting lolly and talking to people inappropriately and stuff like that, of course they're gonna quit, part ways, however you want to say it, because they're part owner, I'm sure. So they probably just got a buyout.
I shouldn't even say God. You're false gods. The Pride creator is going to judge every single one of you. We'll find out. Well, actually, we never will. But intent matters.
I just feel like once they reach a certain level, someone's knocking at their door, scaring them. Who knows?
Pretty much. But I mean, listen. You don't want to be the biggest guy in the world. You just want to make a difference. And if you have to have a certain level of celebrity to do that, you look at Andrew Tate.
And this was the real reason I wanted to show this. I found this so funny what he says right here.
Do more harm? Did he do more good? Depends who you ask. But at the end of the day, I don't disagree with.
First of all, depends on who you ask is not. Did he do more good or did he do more bad? Is like that's objective. That is like just true. That whatever the answer is a truth. It's not who you ask. But then he says
80% of what he says.
Speaks a lot of truth.
I agree with 80% of what he says.
More good? Depends who you ask. But at the end of the day, I don't disagree with 80% of what he says.
I don't disagree with 80% of what he says. Disagreeing with 20% of what someone says is a lot, I feel like. I feel like most of the time, the disagreements you have are like 1 or 2 points. Most people are like, have a disagreement of like, 5%, probably 5 to 10%. But we all agree on like most points. But once it gets into like, how do you feel about treating women and treating, you know, your spouse, not even just treating women. When they get down to like, oh, well, I think you should respect women at all times. Well, what about when you're married to them? Well, then they better fucking listen to me. It's like that. There are like disconnects there where 20% I feel like is a huge margin. I hope I wonder what Andrew Tate's up to right now. Did he go to UFC 314? I was pirating through UFC 314. I got super mad because I was watching it illegally from pirate sites. That was all a joke. You can't prove it. But I was watching it and they fucking showed Donald Trump, RFK Jr., a bunch of fucking different like political officials, Marco Rubio, a bunch of people that were at UFC 314, and I almost lost my shit. Go run the fucking country. Stop with the bullshit. It's getting to me.
This TikToker was just
okay.
Really gonna go down like last.
We're just gonna get straight to it. I'll save this for the end if there's a second where I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. We'll talk about that. Oh, but before I hope we get another new Andrew Tate song too. That would be amazing. So I went on the BroadbandTV Corporation Wikipedia page, and the only thing in the controversy section is just in 2023, BBTV was accused of withholding revenue from content creators on its networks, including YouTubers Ethan Klein, Pierce Alexander Kavanaugh, Kavos, and Zach James, the Yo Mama guy. I'm pretty sure that when it says Yo Mama, it means Zach James. Isn't he the Yo Mama guy? Zach James Yo Mama. Klein repeatedly threatened legal action. Following backlash, the Twitter accounts for both the company and CEO, Shahrzad Rafati, were made private. Klein and Kavanaugh later confirmed that their owed revenue had eventually been paid. Yeah, so it is, I think it's the Yo Mama guy. I feel like I might be wrong, but I think it's the guy that's like, oh yeah, all that shit, you know? But yeah, so this happened in 2023, but somehow BBTV is still in like good graces with a lot of creators, including fucking T-Pain and Diplo. It's literally like, I don't understand how something as big as not paying over $500,000 could basically get swept under the rug for the rest of the people that are like, you know, under their contract or whatever. I had seen a video recently. I was trying to look for it and I wasn't able to find it. So I won't say what creator it was. I said it in a previous video, but I wasn't able to find the video. But another creator recently was talking about getting fucked over by BBTV, saying that they weren't getting their payouts and were needing the help of their like fan base to try and get this thing solved. And so the whole thing, I don't know, it's just so interesting that they seem to have not changed a whole lot of what they're doing, but have kept some really big names. T-Pain is the next Penguin Zero, didn't you see?
Week, I discovered that BBTV, BroadbandTV, they, over the course of the last 2 years, have, in my opinion, stolen $620,000 from us. And when we discovered it, I wrote them a letter inquiring, like a patient and nice letter inquiring, be like, hey, I'm assuming this is an honest mistake. Let's figure it out. And then on Friday after the show, they called us to tell us that they're not paying us back, and basically what I interpreted as a giant middle finger and telling me to get bent. Tough shit. They said, lol, we got you, idiot. But they didn't, actually. The contract.
I don't know why this is the only fucking image I can find of it. I was gonna just go straight to the video, but I was looking for an image. There's T-Pain, the new T-Pain. New and improved.
contract is clear and their intentions are clear. Also, I do want to say straight up off the bat, everything I'm saying is in my opinion. Do not send hate or harassment to any employee of BBTV, anyone associated. This is between me and them and our attorneys. I'm going to start from the top. I mean, ultimately, an MCN is a multi-channel network. That's what BBTV is. Going back, 5 years ago plus, MCNs were super important. It was one of my main criticisms of YouTube is that they gave these MCNs, which were predatory and pointless, way too much power. For example, there was monetization tools that were only accessible through MCNs.
At one point, that was, correct me if I'm wrong, the way to get paid from making YouTube videos. Like, you had to have one to get monetized.
Well, that was the real Charlie. He is black. Didn't you just see the video? Or the picture of the video?
I think you're right. I totally forgot that. You couldn't even get paid unless you were part of an MCN.
Mm-hmm.
And they forced you into these incredible toxic predatory relationships where we were kids. We don't know anything about doing legal shit. We're just YouTubers. You know what I mean? And so they would do like these crazy splits, like 60-40 for years at an end. And then they wouldn't let you out. So we were all kind of forced into these predatory relationships with MCNs. Like, why? And they were fucking everybody over. And their services became, at first they were like a management company and they could guarantee certain like revenue splits and stuff. And it made sense to go with them. But quickly after, it turned into them just making all these false promises like that you'll get better rates with us, that we can help you go viral and all this shit that's obviously false. What happened in my case is we made our AdSense account in Israel. And when we moved to America, you can't change your AdSense address. You have to cancel the AdSense and make a new one. And to do that would drop my channel out of monetization. And it can take like 2 weeks to get the new AdSense account approved. So the only way for me to actually get paid was to be a member of a network because they send the money to BBTV and then to me. And so I knew that leaving BroadbandTV would be this really horrible mess for me where everything would be demonetized, all the memberships would be paused, and I potentially have to wait like 2 weeks with no monetization. Now, luckily, I did it this week and I finally had to do it. It got approved really fast. So I'm thankful. I think someone at YouTube probably was on top of it.
Damn. That had to be one of like it's one of those moments where you put something off for so long and then it finally bites you in the ass, so you take care of it only to find out that you should have done it earlier. If you would have done that, you probably could have, mitigated the loss. I'm sure it probably didn't matter. It was probably a nick, in their income. But over the course of so many years, it piles up. And, nobody wants money taken from them, even if it is just a couple bucks here and there. But, I think that it's stupid the way that YouTube had it set up. But sometimes you got to just grit your teeth and deal with the shit. Take that into life.
To expedite that. So it was only down for like a day or half a day. So now we're on our own AdSense thing and I can finally monetize. But before, I didn't want to deal with this potentiality of being demonetized across the board on all of our channels for 2 weeks. So I stayed with them as a matter of convenience, And when we made this agreement with them, it was clear, crystal clear. It was 100% monetization from YouTube.
Yeah, I probably would have figured it out pretty quick too. I'm surprised. Doesn't Ethan have accountants? I'm surprised that he doesn't have accountants that weren't able to notice it quicker as well. And I guess if anyone ever calls Ethan a greedy Jew again, we can just send him this video and be like, bro, he didn't even realize that he got stiffed of almost over $500,000, close to $750,000. Not greedy enough, bro. Should have been on their ass.
To me, and 75% of whatever, if they bring me an ad, like, I don't know, if they bring me, they're like, promote this video game in your show, like a sponsorship, like we do on the pod, then they get a cut, which makes sense. Yeah, if you guys bring me shit, sure, you can have a cut of that. Makes sense.
In the 5.5 years that I worked for you, it's a handful of times they've gotten us.
Maybe
ads.
2.
Over the course of the years, it may have been more. It may have been like 5, something like that.
It
but,
was
I mean,
never
it's
the
just like-
expectation anyway.
No.
It was like, I don't care.
It was a rare exception when we got an email from them. So.
And like, let's be real, they were doing that to make.
Being Ethan's accountant, I'm sure would be an interesting job. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, if my accountant didn't notice a $500,000 being taken from me, I'd be pretty pissed off. I'd be like, "Were you in fucking you? This was all collusion." I'd start thinking it's a conspiracy theory. I'd be like, "What cut did you get, huh? I know they sent you an email."
Make money. My actual agency that brings us the ads regularly, who I love and trust, takes less cut than that.
Right.
I just don't care about what BBTV is doing. They know, I know that I'm only there for convenience so I can get paid, and they have no tangible value to a channel like mine, or any channel, in my opinion. And so over the years, we've stayed with them. And in 2018, the membership product was launched by YouTube. Now, we signed our contract in 2017. So, of course, it wouldn't have been carved out. It didn't exist at the time. And because we agreed in 2017 that all YouTube, Google revenue, 100% would be mine, then I would assume, of course, that would be mine too. You would also assume that if they were going to be taking 30% of this new massive revenue stream, because we've been our fans have been extremely gracious to support us on the membership, and we've made an effort to build a robust community there, that they would at least say something. That it would be a conversation, that it would be an authorization, that it would be a notification. What they did is silently skim 30% going back as far as we can record. And, it started off as a small amount, and it's grown and grown and grown. Now,
I didn't even... That's such a... What? It feels like such a huge amount. Like we were talking about, 20%. Talk about 5% being astronomical, 30%? What?
Now, the reason that this was even possible is because we had an accountant who was supposed to cross-check all the money and the invoice they sent us every month with the payment we received. I used to do that before we had a head of finance. It's a tedious task, as a business owner, as someone who's trying to build my business and do lots of other stuff. You got to outsource that stuff. So I trusted her to be doing that. We fired her 3 months ago, and we found out she hadn't been doing that, which is why this has been going on for so long, and we just noticed it. That's kind of what happened is I knew she was gone. So I was like, well, somebody needs to make sure these payments are right while our new person gets acclimated. So I went in there and I was like, yo, these are like significantly off. When I noticed that it was way off, first I wrote to my representative over at BBTV and I was like, can you tell me what's going on here? Meanwhile, I went to our new finance person and I said, hey, I'm noting this discrepancy. Can you look back and tell me, is this something that's been happening every month? She ran a report, sent it to me, and realized, and showed me the amount that they've been taking every month. And it had been going on continually since we have records to show. And the total for that was, $619,000 that they had taken from us. And probably they had taken more because the records that they provided before that were not thorough enough to even know. It didn't even categorize the money they were taking in that way. And what's especially fucked up is that when I started with them in 2018, I checked every month and it was on every month. It had always been on. Nobody had ever skimmed like this. Mm-hmm. And so I had no reason not to trust them that they would be doing this. You know what I mean? It was this unfortunate situation where we had this really horrible finance.
That almost makes you think that it was like an intentional... Like, if it was fine to start, what all of a sudden changed in their protocols that made it to where they're skimming 30% off, that's kind of... I don't know.
Finance person who screwed us over. But ultimately, as much as it is my responsibility, I'm not going to take responsibility for someone stealing from me. Like, you expect your business partners not to be fucking thieves. If you've got a big-ass vault with money and you're inviting your friends and family over, if somebody goes and opens the vault because it's not locked and skims some money, sure, you should have locked it, but, like, ultimately, it's their fault that you trusted them. They came into your house and stole your shit. So once I realized that this was a systemic thing going back.
Ethan messed up there. I think what he means is it's your fault for trusting them, but they still stole something. it doesn't mitigate from the actual like wrong that they committed, just because you could have like mitigated it by, you know, being more cautious and being less trustworthy of the people that you assume have your best interest in mind. And it's almost it just because it almost seems ridiculous to assume that the people that are benefiting off of you would want to screw you over. Like, they're already making money as, you know, this third party. They're already making money from Ethan. So what would be the point of potentially screwing up the relationship for 30%?
Back 2 years, and it was this significant amount of money. I started to panic a little bit, and I wrote them this fat email that was very polite, very direct. I gave them the benefit of the doubt to assume it was an honest mistake, and then they ghosted me for 3 days, and that's when I was like, this is not gonna fucking,
Here we go.
this isn't it. So I found out everyone's email, I found out the CEO's email, the officer's email, whatever. I put it all in there because I was like, this is serious, and I want to make sure that we're on the same page before this escalates. So here's the email that I wrote them on I think it was Tuesday evening of last week. Dear BBTV officers, you can play the music, Zach. I hope this email finds you well. I am writing today to address a pressing matter that has come to my attention, which requires immediate action on your end. Upon reviewing our financial records, I have discovered a significant discrepancy in sponsorship revenue that has been remitted to the H3 podcast. It appears that BroadbandTV has been withholding 30% of the sponsorship money going back as far as December 2020, possibly even earlier. The amount withheld from us, as far as our records allow us to track, is $619,101.06. As you are well aware, our agreement with BroadbandTV, which was established in 2017, clearly states that 100% of all revenue would go to the H3 podcast. The only exception to this would be if BroadbandTV directly bought us a third-party sponsorship, in which case your company would receive a cut of that specific revenue. It's become apparent that this understanding has not been respected, and I am deeply concerned about the implications of this breach in our agreement. I am currently assuming that this discrepancy is the result of an honest mistake, and that we will not need to escalate this situation any further. However, I must stress the urgency and gravity of this matter. It is paramount importance that we resolve the issue quickly and amicably. So I kindly request a detailed plan of action from you on how BroadbandTV intends to rectify this situation, including the reimbursement of the entire amount withheld from us and any other discrepancies that may be discovered. I expect to receive this plan of action by end of the work week, Friday. So I gave them till Friday to respond. I felt that I was being gracious. I was giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I was giving
Very well worded email, and this was pre-ChatGPT, so you know that was all just English major, lit major, or whatever the fuck he is.
them a whole week to make a informed, well-reasoned response. Failure to do so will leave me no choice but to consider alternative courses of action. I clearly state that I wanted to, end this amicably. I didn't want to turn this into anything bigger than it needed to be. I didn't want to get into another lawsuit, into another battle. I appreciate your prompt matter to this attention. I have faith that we can reach an agreeable solution. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me directly should you have any other additional information. I attached our contract as well as the financial report we put together of the amount of money they were taking from us every month. So I send them this letter, which I think was, stern but polite and gracious. And I started to stress, like I said, because 3 days had passed and it was like crickets. Not even my representative, who's usually pretty quick to get back to me, responded. So I'm like, okay, these guys are talking to lawyers. There's like a scene probably going on back there. They're trying to figure out what to do. But I still held hope in my heart that they would be.
It is kind of funny thinking like some low-level employee that like got the email just went, "Oh yeah, thanks, Jan. I'm just gonna check a few emails." 600,000. What? I mean, they just have to pass it off, really, at that point. I mean, unless he sent it to the top of the top, and then they really just went, fuck. What do we do? I already bought that Porsche. Fuck.
Be like, this is just a misunderstanding. I didn't imagine at the time that this was some systemic play on their end, because they've been doing this to other people, we found out now. I didn't understand the magnitude of the situation. I hoped that it wouldn't be like that. So I wrote my representative a few days later when I hadn't heard from them because I was getting nervous. I was like, is this really going to go down like this? So I just wrote him. I was like, so what's going on? Haven't heard from anyone. Is their intent really to ignore me? I'm still a member in your network. Like, you're still taking my money. You can give me a response. He said leadership is working on sending something out to you directly. Now, when they say leadership, who do you think? Who do you imagine leadership includes?
I mean, I don't know the scale of this company, how many people work there, but for that amount of money, I have to imagine that probably got flagged
All the way to the top.
pretty far up.
There ain't no way the CEO wasn't privy to all this shit.
Yeah.
Sharzad Rafati. And this woman really, she accomplished something really amazing in building this network. But at the end of the day, I think she knows what she's doing with this business.
She built it off of false pretenses. She's screwed over the people that have helped her create her empire, and now they will burn it down, except for T-Pain and Diplo. With those two, she's kind of just set for life, in my opinion.
And she's going on all these PR tours.
You're skimming 30% off T-Pain and Diplo, allegedly, but you're skimming 30% off T-Pain and Diplo. I think you're fine.
Very much a public figure about she's like meeting with Justin Trudeau. She's in all these magazines about being like top tech people in Canada. She's in an article titled Why Ethical Business Transactions is Good for Business. I'm like, you're just stealing from me. Tone it down. It's just all a facade. So anyway, he wrote me this. He said, apologies for not following up here. Wanted to let the internal discussion happen before giving you any potential updates would amount to more info on the way soon. So that actually made me feel hopeful. He's like, okay, leadership's working on it. And he says, we're just triple checking everything, which I thought meant they were like maybe checking the amounts. But actually what it meant is they were poring over the contract, trying to calculate how they could justify stealing my money. I responded, thanks for the update. Really appreciate it. The radio silence was making me nervous.
That's kind of the way I feel too, is it's not just stealing. It does feel like they brought people into this, like, with this contract of like, oh, you get 100%, it's going to be fine. We'll only take a percentage of what we bring you directly. But then they use that as a way to be like, well, we're still the person getting it, it's coming through us, so we're still technically, whatever, bringing it to you. They've got to be working around some, they're trying to think of some like loophole in their head. But yeah, it does seem like it seems at least to be an intentional scam. Like, that is the way that it seems. Especially since, like he said, that initially it was fine. So initially, when he was checking it all the time, there wasn't an issue. But as soon as they stopped, they're like, okay, we can take a little bit here, we can take a little bit there. Allegedly.
Okay, then he responded, are you free to call with our SVP to go over directly? And then we arranged for a time to call Friday after our show. So after this call, I immediately realized, okay, I've been putting off this thing. I'm going to get demonetized for 2 weeks.
So I have the call. Was this split up into like...
So here is when I will play the call for you guys. This is all in chronological order. So after Friday, I'm in the car. Hila's at home. We really wanted to have this call.
Because this is all from the same episode, but I don't want to play it out of order. But
I responded, thanks for the update. Really appreciate it. The radio silence was making me nervous. Okay, then he responded, arranged for a time to call. Okay, I've been putting off this thing. I'm going to get demonetized for 2 weeks, potentially, but I have to leave. Like, I don't have a fucking choice. And I was on the phone with people from YouTube. They were trying to figure out the best and most painless way to do this. I had to make a new AdSense located in the United States. So I cancel my AdSense account and I make a new one. And then that's when everyone got notified that the memberships were paused. So the channel was completely demonetized. The memberships were paused for like a day. And I'm so grateful that I don't know if my dude was able to expedite it. And that's what happened because like in the middle of the night, it started working again. So shout out to them. That's awesome. So I only was like unmonetized for a day. And then, so that's when everyone started to get confused and worried and genuinely did not expect to turn this into like a big viral thing. I made this video to tell everybody on the subreddit and on Twitter and stuff and Discord were like, what happened? They deserve to know. I mean, this is their money. So I posted this video. BBTV stole $620,000 on my, my dumb, stupid, whatever channel. And This was like a really dry, long video. I did not expect this to actually become a thing at all. I really didn't. What I said in this is a lot of what we've already talked about. So I made that video. It went pretty big on Reddit. That evening, after I put out the video, I get their first letter from their attorney. And this is where the fun really begins. See, they don't think that I'm going to share this, but I am. Like, I don't care. They go private and confidential. Fuck that. I don't agree. My life's an open book. It's not my fucking problem. Attention, Ethan Klein. Dear Mr. Klein, further to your meeting with our team on Friday, we have been assessing your comments with our legal and operational teams. While we have been doing this, we have been made aware of your videos and Twitter posts. We believe that these are extremely unhelpful.
To who?
Exactly.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, to who? If anything, it's helpful to him in you guys trying to expedite this process. Because how can you... It's extremely unhelpful. Well, this is the first fucking communication that he's getting back that he's not having to basically beg for.
Unhelpful. Yeah, I'm crazy like that. I'm being super unhelpful. And we also believe they contain defamatory content. I was like, okay, you guys want to do that? You guys want to be like posture in that way? I'm not a fucking kid. I know what defamation is. And so then this is where they start lying.
Ethan about to pull the, I know what defamation is. Why don't you look me up? Look me up real quick.
To me and manipulating what happened. They says, and this is why I'm so glad we recorded the call. They says, we would like to investigate your concerns fully, but we need time to do this thoroughly and without the distraction and the unhelpful backdrop. They had a week. I notified them, as I showed you in the beginning, politely. I came to them, willing to accept that it was an honest mistake. And when they got on the phone with me and spit in my face and told me they're keeping the money, now it's like, well, you didn't give us the...
See, I feel like we need to listen to the call. I'm going to wait. I don't know why they split this up. I guess they didn't want like an hour-long clip, which makes sense, but...
Time. No, you had the time, and you made your fucking choice. Please remove the videos and tweets posted yesterday and today, and refrain from further comment until we have been able to discuss this with you and your counsel. Or what?
Honestly, I kind of like this, though. We're going to watch this one, then we're going to watch the call, then we're going to watch the video. Or maybe we'll watch the video first that he made, then the call, and then the retraction, the final hurrah.
What are you gonna do about it? Please remove the post and stop talking about it. Or what? I'm here live. You couldn't even erase this if you tried. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? I'm unhelpful as shit. My middle fucking name.
That's right.
I'm right here. Stop me. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? We are working to give you a considered and detailed response by Wednesday of next week. Again, delay, kick the guy. I told you guys about this fucking this week early, gave you the entire week, and now you need till Wednesday to give a detailed response after you spit in my face? Fuck no. I'm not gonna sit around like a dumbass while you guys embezzle my money, in my opinion. As you guys prepare the paperwork for bankruptcy, I'm gonna sit, in my opinion, this speculation. I'm just gonna sit around and let you steal my money. Fuck you. Stop me. Please, I'm begging you, stop me. In the meantime, if you have legal counsel involved in this matter, please provide them with a copy of this letter and have them get in touch with me as soon as possible. Nah, fuck you. Here's the thing. They're in Canada, so I need to find a Canadian attorney. The one that my main lawyer suggested actually has a conflict, so he can't represent us. So now I have to find a Canadian attorney. But this is just me and you, lady. I'm freeballing. It's just me and you. I bet you're used to talking to attorneys who are very cordial and they're very careful, and it's just me. And I'm fucking crazy. Here's my response. This is the first of 2 email exchanges we had. I said, dear, whatever her name is, I must find a Canadian attorney. I have a good reference. I can follow up on Monday. If you would like me to erase my post, you can provide me the full amount owed and unleak me from the network. Not because my posts aren't true, but because I'd rather be done with this sooner than later. I'm not going to remove it on some vague promise to get back to me on Wednesday. I believe everything I've said to be true and accurate, and when appropriate, clearly labeled as opinion. In terms of being defamatory, this is something for a judge or jury to decide. But as I'm sure you know, truth is the best defense to defamation, and that is certainly on my side. Sorry y'all gotta face consequences for being shady pieces of shit. They get so up in arms. They're like, oh, no, sir, no, don't talk about us. They're like a vampire with light on them. No. Fighting defamation cases is practically a sport for me at this point. Nothing excites me like an opportunity to strengthen our First Amendment rights or free speech as guaranteed in your fair Canadian Charter. Additionally, it's worth mentioning that I plan to talk extensively about this on Monday's show, including the recording of the call with your lovely representative, this letter as well. So if it is your intention to remedy this, please let me know by end of day tomorrow, or at least let me know by Monday, 12 p.m. PST. So that was mine. I made my intentions very clear. I'm like, listen, this is all going up. They sent me another legal letter that evening. By the way, both of these she sent to me at like 10:30 p.m. I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like they're having a really fun time right now. On the weekend, on Easter.
On Easter weekend.
She sent this to me on Easter weekend at 10:30 p.m. So as this one says, hi, Ethan. I realize you will be seeking counsel tomorrow. Given the urgency and the absence, I am sending this note to you. Well, thank you. Who else would you send it to? I'm right here with you. Let's dance. It is very disappointing to see that after working together for 5 years, you have decided to breach YouTube's community guidelines. So she's threatening to narc on me to YouTube for some vague, like she's threatening to give me a strike. You think I'm dumb? They continue to treat me like an idiot. After 5 years of working together, you decided to breach YouTube's community guidelines, our content provider agreement, and defame and harass our company and our CEO when you have been receiving clear and itemized revenue share summaries from BBTV every single month, properly reflecting your contract with the company since the beginning of our partnership. They're like, yo, you trusted us for this long, Dami? It's on you. Obviously, harassing and defaming. They're trying to use big, scary words, and this works most of the time. They go, community guidelines, oh, they're going to get me in trouble. Defame and harass, yeah, do something about it. Go ahead, I'm right here. You got my address. You know everything about me. Let's go. We are always available to work with creators to answer any questions. Took you 3 days to get back to me. Regretfully, you gave us no opportunity to have a meaningful conversation or to work constructively with you. Again, this is revision bullshit. Fuck you. You had a whole week to come together and make that decision to fuck me in the ass. You have maliciously attacked our company, our CEO and team, and potentially illegally recorded a conversation with our business representative. Okay, come get me. Come around.
That's why I'm glad I live in a one-party consent state. Oh my god, there's a gnat. Ew. Hello, hello. The gnat threw me off.
Arrest me. And you've also crossed other important legal and contractual boundaries. It's like, say what they are. And you broke a whole bunch of other rules that I'm not going to write right now. Yeah, you guys know what's disappointing? That you stole $620,000 from me. Due to the approach you've taken, we can confirm that you have clearly contravened YouTube community guidelines and breached your agreement with BBTV, and hence we are releasing your channel and terminating our relationship with you as of Tuesday, April 11th. Oh, that's tomorrow. Why are they waiting? It's like, why just do it now? If you are interested in resolving the remainder of
we just passed the anniversary. How sweet.
Appears to be a contractual dispute. I love that it's just a contractual dispute. They're like, the contract could say anything. And they'll be like, no, we're keeping your money because, hey, it's I don't know, there's something in the contract that says we can. Take it up with the judge. It's just legal theft. If you're interested in resolving this contractual dispute, please be advised that we will make our team available to discuss these concerns. If you continue to publicly harass our team and misinform the creator community about our company, we will hold you accountable. I want you to hold me accountable. We can assure you that BBTV is alive and well and supporting thousands of partners. We are proud of the work that we do with the creator community.
What is this last little sentence, couple sentences for? We can assure you that BBTV is alive and well. Well, actually, it's not. It's a company. It doesn't have a life. Thank you very much. But regardless, that's just such is this a threat? You trying to posture, huh?
And have thousands of creators who appreciate and trust us. So this is when I got this letter late at night. I immediately went to the basement, cracked my knuckles, sat down for like an hour plus.
Started
and I said,
gooning.
all right, this is the one. This is the one. So here it is. So I said, dear whatever attorney, I must express my deepest gratitude for the fact that this is the second legal letter you've sent me at the witching hour of 10 p.m. on a weekend.
The attorney read this beginning sentence, and his eyes widened. He went, "Oh no, where is this going?"
And no less. And during a holiday to boot, happy Easter, by the way, truly warms my heart to know that you're so devoted to our little dispute that you're willing to sacrifice your precious personal time. It paints a rather vivid picture of frantic desperation, as if you're scrambling to make amends for your company's own incompetence. If you intend to accuse me of violating YouTube's community guidelines and defaming and harassing your CEO, I would kindly request that you be more specific. It's crucial that we maintain a fair and transparent dialogue during this time. Fair and transparent. Unlike your theft of $620,000 without notice or discussion. While I am truly heartbroken by the end of our relationship, I cannot help but wonder if your company will be able to survive without the steady flow of stolen funds from our channel. It is indeed a trying time for you, especially considering that your stock has plummeted a staggering 96%. Not to mention the recent acquisition of 21.6 million Canadian dollars. Desperately sought.
Wow, alive and well, but kind of on life support. Sounds like.
To pay off mounting debts. And my God, to accept that loan with 16% interest? How bad are your financials? A kid with a lemonade stand could secure better financing from the childhood than the neighborhood children. If you needed money, you only had to ask. I would have given it to you for 15%. By the way, 16% is horrible. That is crazy. In your letter, you accuse me of potentially illegally recording a conversation with your business representative and crossing other unspecified legal and contractual boundaries. However, as you are well aware, Canada is a one-party consent country. I'm sure the important legal and contractual boundaries I crossed are very scary. Too scary, apparently, to speak of, since you cannot even list them. Unlike you, I can be very specific about the legal and contractual boundaries you have crossed, stealing $620,000. The notion that I was somehow impatient and unwilling to wait for your decision is provably false. You were granted an entire week to carefully consider the matter after receiving my initial letter, and ultimately chose, in unison with leadership, to retain my funds. This decision is clearly documented in the recorded call, which, fortunately, exists to counter your misrepresentation of the facts. Resolving this issue is quite straightforward on your point. Return the stolen $620,000. Anything less will be for the court to decide. Lastly, I couldn't help but notice the closing paragraph of your letter, in which you profess your undying pride in your company. While I'm thrilled to see you so enamored with your organization, it did come across as slightly insecure. P.S. As an aside, considering the current...
And this is exactly how you write a well-worded email, where you don't have to be mean, you don't have to be outwardly aggressive. You just hit them with little things here and there that'll just make them go, where they can tell what you're trying to say. Call him a little bitch, call him a little pussy, but, you know, then they can't get that mad. It's not like you're threatening them.
State of affairs at your company, it might be a wise decision to explore new employment opportunities. I'm sure your skills and expertise as a lawyer would be highly valued somewhere else. For example, FTX, Enron, or the Capone crime family. Your obedient servant, Ethan Klein.
Your obedient servant.
Definitely a Hamilton reference.
Yes, a Hamilton reference.
And
have a good night.
And she always, when she messages me, she does an attachment. She always puts it in attachment. So I wanted to put something in an attachment for her. So I said, please see the attached image. And here's what I attached. It's a picture of... It says, fuck you and your whole organization. It's a picture of me soy-eyed. And just a little something, because she should know a little bit about me. It's a minion meme. I'm a handful. I'm strong-willed, independent, a bit outspoken, and I tell it like it is. I make mistakes. I am sometimes out of control, and at times I'm hard to handle, but I love and I give with all my heart.
So true.
Oh, such a cancer.
If you can't handle me at my worst, then you sure don't deserve me at my best. Signed, owner, fair use, and First Amendment advocate, Ethan Klein.
Yeah, your proper title.
Okay, should we watch the call first, or I was able to pull the video. It's unlisted, but I have my ways. Don't ask the ways. Shut up, Papa. That's why you link videos in your descriptions. But should we watch this first or the call? I feel like this will give a good preface to the whole situation. And then the call will kind of be the real meat and potatoes. Oop. Sorry, just fixing one. Had like way too many tabs open. Oh wait, I need to show these too. These were on Reddit, and I thought this was funny. My mom said you look like if Willy Wonka was a rapist, and then it's just a picture of Hassan. My mom said I looked good, so I was confident enough to post it. My mom said you look like if Willy Wonka was a rapist. Agree or disagree? My YouTube thinks I'm a snarker. Oh yeah, I meant to pull this up too, because I wanted to see, because this is so interesting to me, even on YouTube. So they have a Ethan Snark video in there. But if you go on YouTube and you just look up Ethan Klein, it's a lot of Hassan, different hate videos, different. I don't know if this one's it's Brittany Simon, so I don't. Could go either way, honestly. The confused Zionism of Ethan Klein's crash out explained. I'm honestly surprised that this came up first, because when I was trying to find the channel, this one actually came up first the first time. So I'm actually kind of surprised that it came up this time. But I get it. They're going to use Ethan's name to like clickbait the hate. But I'm surprised there's almost nothing of like any positive speak until you get down to like H3 clips. And I think people miss the point too. Yeah, I get anti-Ethan videos all the time too. And I think the interesting part is that people like to be like, Hassan barely even talks about Ethan. Ethan's been going on a tirade talking about Hassan so much on like every podcast. Even if Hassan doesn't talk about Ethan for his whole like 8-hour stream or whatever, the clips channels keep like doing posts that are the ones that get promoted. Another one where they're pretty consistent. Not super often. This one actually isn't as bad. I went on another channel and saw a lot. There's 3 from a couple weeks or whatever. This one isn't too bad. But still, they pull in the views, 31, 106, as opposed to these other 7 and 9K. So they know what sells, and that's true. But we're gonna start with this one. Oop. Maybe we won't be able to watch it. Oh wait. Oh, I'm just stupid. Thing is just muted.
Love everything about it.
I muted the tab that time and thought I was tweaking out. Wait, actually? Son Picker. They're all from his main account. And I guess maybe you can say that it's because Hassan has his name in the thing, but they're literally all Hassan, nothing about Hassan. That's kind of insane, actually. But okay, let's get back to the BBTV.
All right. Well, I never thought I'd be the last idiot to get ripped off by an MCN, but here I am. You know, I've always been so skeptical of MCNs, and a lot of people don't even know what those are anymore. They're called multi-channel networks. Back in the,
I was going to say, the one I always remembered, God damn it.
I've always been so skeptical of MCNs,
I always forget to
and
do
a lot
the
of people don't
frames.
even know what those are anymore. They're called
Machinima is like the one that I always remember, and then Maker Studio was one that fucked people over, I remember. So it makes sense that this one that's almost like really small, like almost one of the, I guess it is one of the smallest, didn't do too well in the end. Or I guess probably still isn't doing too great. But I do remember Machinima's always been the biggie.
channel networks. Back in the day, they were kind of more like management companies. They could even get you like guaranteed ad revenue deals. A lot of them were involved in facilitating shows and big sponsorships. So back in the day, they were a big deal and they were kind of important to have. But as time went on and there was more scandals with MCNs, the way it works is that when you sign up with the MCN, YouTube sends all of your ad revenue, everything you make via YouTube, to them. And then they send it to you. Now, back in the day, they would take a cut. Let's say they would take 10%. And so they would take the whole payment and then they would pay you 90%. Now, let's see, I joined them in 2017. And the deal we had with them is we would get 100% of everything. Basically, if they brought us like a sponsorship, like let's say Nike was like, hey, I want to put an ad. I want Ethan to read an ad in his video. So if they brought us that, then they would get a cut of that. But everything we made through YouTube, 100% of YouTube revenue came to us. The reason that this was convenient for me is because when we first...
See, I do think MCNs made sense in terms of they were trying to create almost like a formatting for like a management system, but it always I think that it just kind of proved itself to not work with just the amount of people that are involved in YouTube. Because it's like you could have different managers or whatever, and individuals can have their own management that they hire, but to have like forced management will only like cause the management agencies to become overloaded with the amount of people that are on the site. So of course it's going to end up failing at some point because there's no way that they can, you know, keep that many people's like stuff in check, especially if they're the only ones that are like allowed to. So they had to open up eventually to where, you know, individual creators could start making their own money. And now they only work to, I feel like they only work as predatory, like in like companies now, to just pull in people that want to get sponsorships and stuff.
Made our AdSense account, we were in Israel. Now there's
all you got to do is just wait a little bit. Maybe you'll get a lucky, you know, VPN ad for some random VPN.
Well, about AdSense accounts, you can only have one at a time. And because it was in Israel, they don't let you change your country. So this whole time, my whole career, I've been using the same AdSense account that's associated with living in Israel. And the only way that I could actually get paid is if I connected to a network and YouTube sent the money to them and then they sent us the money. That was the only way. Just to be clear here, because the AdSense account was made in Israel, we could only pay it to an Israeli bank account, which we don't even have anymore because we live in the United States. So the only way to get that money paid to our American bank accounts was to send it to the MCN first, which is crazy, right? And I've been exploring how to disconnect from them on my own. And the part that I was really afraid of was essentially that it can take a while to get a new AdSense account approved and to get it all connected and running, like up to 2 weeks, maybe more.
I'm going to speed this up because we've basically heard most of this. I just want to hear if there was anything else special about this. Screen froze? Is it just you? Might just be you, Alex.
Right? So that would be 2 weeks of our channel, of our memberships, of everything. No revenue, everything's turned off. So for me, I was like, I don't want to go through that. I guess what happened recently is that I got my payment stub from them like usual, which shows basically how much they paid us. And when I went into YouTube Analytics, I noticed it was like significantly off. And I was like, this is strange. And I asked our accountant or head of finance for our businesses to go look back and see if there's discrepancies. And as far as we could tell, they had skimmed $620,000 at least, right? That's just from what we can tell, from specifically the membership money. You know, and that especially ticks me off because these is people coming to us to show us their direct support. Like that was the whole point of this program. And what happened was we started really investing in the members program recently in the past year or two, like heavily, to the point where it's one of our main sources of income now in terms of what happens on the podcast. People have been so gracious, so supportive, so amazing. And part of what really pisses me off is that they went after that money. Now, I'm an idiot for letting this go on for so long, right? Part of what happened was we had our old accountant lady who was with us for a few years. Before she started, I used to every month go over the receipt, check it against YouTube, and make sure it was 100% correct. Now, it had never been wrong in all my years of being on YouTube. And when she started, I outsourced it to her because it was tedious. It was taking a lot of my time. And this is part of what growing a business is outsourcing this kind of tedious tasks like that. And so I outsourced it to her to check that out. And while she left about 3 months ago, we got a new person. And it turns out that she wasn't checking it at all, in fact. So this was the first time that I really noticed it. I thought that she was doing it, which is why it went on for so long. Now, what's really interesting about this is when I first noticed this had been happening.
Oh, it was in the video. I think that was just Ethan doing like editing. I think he was doing like in editing a little tidbit.
$620,000. I was like, man, maybe there's just a mistake, right? Maybe they don't know. Because in our terms, let me tell you, it was very clear that this was a 100% to us. Now, I want to show you, first of all, this is the contract we signed back in, 2017, I'm pretty sure. And YouTube, the membership program, didn't even exist at this time. Okay. So if we go to, and this is the important parts, Google net revenue, of which we get 100%. Okay. It says BBTV will pay you an amount equal to 100% of Google net revenue received by BBTV from your videos or on your YouTube channels. Okay. So it says BBTV will pay you an amount equal to 100% of Google net revenue. Memberships is paid to me from Google, from YouTube. It comes in the same bucket as we get from the ads, as we get from, YouTube Premium. It's all coming from Google. So that's 100%, right? Now, when I talk to them, they pointed out this, and I'll get to all this stuff, but you guys are going to love this. They go, okay, well, they says there's a clause if you go to other payments. Now, these guys had the fucking audacity to come to me and say, well, if you look at this section, your revenue, and you look here, it says 70% of other net revenues. And they're like, well, memberships is other net revenue. And therefore, we are entitled to keep the $620,000 that we've essentially, I want to say, stole. That's my opinion. Obviously, the courts will decide. Obviously, we're suing them. Now, they must think I'm a fucking idiot, right? Because they continue. They says, or as the parties may agree upon in writing on a case-by-case basis. Now, what's interesting about this? There was no writing. There was no case-by-case basis. This was them silently saying, oh, there's this huge new revenue stream coming in. Let's fucking steal it secretly, silently, and hope they don't notice. So this is what they're saying. They're saying, yes, it's other revenue, but it doesn't even count as other. I mean, they define Google net revenue here in the contract. Google net revenue for any period means revenue.
And Google subscriptions, it literally has it right there. That's hilarious. Did they even read the contract?
Earned and actually received by BBTV in such period from Google ads and Google subscriptions with respect to your content on YouTube. Then they even define Google subscriptions, which is exactly what membership is. It says Google subscription means a subscription-based service on YouTube offered or facilitated by Google, whereby end users may access your videos, the timing selection of which is at the end user's discretion, and for which the end user is charged a predetermined periodic fee to access such content as often as the end user selects. So on both of these clauses, they're dead wrong. I mean, it's like obscenely, unethically ridiculous, and for them to have the balls, the audacity to get on the phone with me and try to justify it. Here, let me run you through this whole thing. So first of all, I noticed this 3 days ago, and I wrote them all an email. I said, dear BBTV officers, I hope this email finds you well. I am writing to you today to address a pressing matter that has come to my attention, which requires immediate action from your end. Upon reviewing our financial records, I have discovered a significant discrepancy in the sponsorship revenue that has been remitted to the H3 podcast. Established in 2017, clearly all revenue, third-party sponsorship, in which case your company...
My God, Ethan's editing is so just insane.
Today, failure to do so will leave me no choice but to consider alternative courses of action. I sent this to you 3 days ago. I attached every officer in that company, including the CEO, and they ghosted me. For 3 days, they ghosted me. No response. Last night, they said, okay, let's jump on a call on Friday to discuss. So after the podcast, I had this fantastic podcast with Terry Joe, and it was so good. It was so wholesome. It was great. I was feeling good. And then I called these guys after work. And actually, I recorded the whole thing. They are in Canada, which is a one-party, consent territory. So I'm pretty sure I can release the whole phone call, which I plan on doing. We just need to make double check with our attorney that it's kosher to do that. But there are some great moments here. So he gets on the phone, and he has the balls to be, we've worked together for a long time, and we really want to figure out a way to make this work. I said, cut the shit, dude. Just tell me, are you paying us back? He says, at this time, we believe that by what the contract says, we are justified in keeping this money and we will not be paying you back. He goes, yeah, it's an other revenue. I says, okay, my dad just gave me $100. Do you want $30 of that? Me and Theodore were playing Monopoly. Do you want 30% of my Monopoly money? Like, other revenue, what is that? I mean, well, yo, other revenue. And I go, give me a break. I go back and look at the contract, and sure enough, they're full of shit, right? Full of shit, as I showed you guys. And then this was my favorite part. This is how he justifies.
Well, Alex, there's your answer. The last comment was from a year ago, and I feel like that was probably... What the fuck? Someone just being anti-Semitic.
He says to me, to my face, well, over the phone, he goes, okay, then let me ask you this. If you care that we've been taking this money from you, then why didn't you just leave? You know, when I joined BBTV, they were the biggest MCN at the time, and they were a big company. They were publicly traded, super reputable. So I never thought, like, these guys are going to be stealing money from me. And then coming on the phone and spitting in my face with that shit. Why didn't you leave earlier? I don't know, because we had a fucking business arrangement. I didn't expect you to just silently steal my money.
Why'd you dress so promiscuously? What kind of fucking questions are these? Come on. No, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. If you knew you were getting ripped off, why didn't you leave earlier? We didn't know we were getting ripped off. We just found out.
So yeah, he tried to justify it. They says, no, we're keeping it. And so now, as you guys may have noticed, some of y'all may have noticed that our memberships program, a lot of you...
Honestly, I was kind of expecting the comments to be that crazy. Hey man, the internet hates the Jews right now. I know a couple. He hasn't helped me at all. They're good guys, kind of. He's nice. Enough. You know, he's my friend. Still an asshole, but not because he's Jewish. Mostly because he's my friend.
You got email saying the membership program is paused. And the reason for that is because now I need to make this horrible move that I've been putting off for so long, you know, that I have to create a new AdSense account. And to do that, I have to erase my old AdSense account. By the way, I did this all with someone from YouTube. So this is, according to YouTube, the best way to do this. So when I canceled my old AdSense account that was in Israel, so I could leave BBTV and get paid directly from YouTube, now the monetization on all of our channels, the podcast, the clips channel, even H3 Productions, everything is zero monetization. Everything is off. Memberships is paused. It's all and this is the best way to do it with YouTube on the phone. And so I created a new AdSense account. I'm waiting for it to get approved. They don't work on the weekend. You know, I just love that. YouTube doesn't work on the weekend. Like, I go, yeah, that makes sense. People don't post videos on the weekend, so why would you need anybody there? CEO is so trashy, you know. She wouldn't even get on the call with me. She sent her little underling to call. It was like the head of partner scams. I said, does the CEO know that this is the decision you're making? I just want to make crystal clear y'all know what you're doing. You're saying that this is your money, the $620,000, and you're not giving it back to us. And he goes, this was in consultation with her and everybody and lawyers and legal. And I says, okay, dude. I got pretty fiery on that call. I'm not going to lie. I went kind of medieval. And I'd love to play some of the moments there for you because they're just so obscene. But so people know that's why the membership's paused. I thank all of you so much for caring enough about us, you know, to be like, hey, my payment's paused. What's going on? You know, thank you for caring. I mean, that's ultimately the only reason that they are able to steal this money is because you guys are so generous and so supportive. And I love you guys so much. It's just been so freaking stressful dealing with this since I discovered it. And I'm like, please, God, just don't make me go down this route again. You know, please, I don't want this. Just give me the money back. And, you know, my fears were confirmed. They go, nah, it's ours. Sorry, sucker. You should have left earlier, idiot. Okay, so I've got everything. I sent already everything to the lawyer, and I'm pissed. I'm pissed at these scumbags. So shady. Does Justin Trudeau know that she's a scumbag? She's giving me Jen Shaw vibes. Maybe they can share a cell.
Well, I mean, it's Justin Trudeau. I doubt he'd care that much.
Hey, they can talk shop. Maybe after this, she can get into the scamming old people with telephone marketing like Jen Shaw. That would be powerful. She'd be good at that. This woman looked me in the face and spit in my fucking face and said, no, that $620,000 is ours. And let me tell you what BBTV does for us.
Hey, that's the defamatory claim. She did not spit in your face. She didn't even talk to you on the phone.
They do nothing. And they know they do nothing. He goes, we fulfilled our end of the bargain. Well, yeah, there's nothing for you to do. So, you know, and I'll be honest, it's to lose that much money. And then on top of it, to have all of our AdSense and membership turned off for, I don't even know how long it's going to be. I mean, listen, we run a business. We got a mortgage on our office. We got 12 full-time employees. We have a shitload of bills. Like, this is a business we're running here. Yeah, she would crush it in elder abuse and scamming the elderly. She would be so good at that, man. Oh, hello, yes, we're looking to sell you business classes. Okay. Be awesome at that.
Maybe she could consider a new.
And I didn't even think about this. If they were taking all the memberships, that means that their membership fee was getting cut by YouTube, by Apple if people were buying it on iPhone or whatever, and then also from BBTV. So they were getting like a huge percentage taken out. Like that's pretty crazy.
In a Medicaid fraud. That's a huge business. Where you're like, yeah, hello, government. Yeah, I got a pharmacy here. We're seeing all kinds of elderly people. Yeah, you can just send us billions. How do you get in that, Sharzad? I mean, there's way more money in that than stealing my $620,000. That's a good idea for her. Crypto, launch an NFT, girl. That's what everyone's doing. That's what all the shady pieces of shit are doing. Let's get you on the crypto. Life insurance fraud. You have a significant other. I mean, kill them. That pays out big. Life insurance, kill your husband. Huge money in that. There's so many better scams you can do. What can I do, huh? Anyways, I thank you guys so much for the support, and I love you guys so much, and we'll get this sorted out. And you win some, you lose some, but ultimately I'm winning all of them because I got you guys, man. I love you guys so much from the bottom of my heart to support this community. You guys are the best, man. I don't deserve it, so thank you.
Fargo is your... So now we move on to the call, the leaked call. The leaked call.
Did you bring us?
Look.
So here is when I will play the call for you guys. This is all in chronological order. So after Friday, I'm in the car. Hila's at home. We really wanted to have this call together, and I'm so happy that it was recorded. Hila in her infinite wisdom, and I'm just so thankful to her. She was so amazing on this call and for recording it. I'm just so grateful to her for having the presence of mind to do that. So here's the call we had. Now it's cut down a little bit. It was pretty long. It was like 30 minutes.
Hila didn't even care if it was a fucking one-party consent state. I feel like she didn't even give a shit. She was just like, I'm recording this shit.
There were some parts where I was saying names a lot, and I had to cut it out just for clarity. There was parts where the conversation just kind of went off track and stuff. So this is a little bit condensed. So here is the call that they threatened me.
It is one of those things where his life is at a decent position. He was able, you know what I mean? He is at a high enough position in his life where he was able to have $600,000 stolen from him, which is why he was saying that he's grateful to even be able to be in that position and grateful for the fans, so on and so forth. But it is like so true that regardless of how good your life is, realizing that it could have been a lot better is kind of, even not even just your life, realizing you could have maybe donated more or done more for other people or helped somebody out in a moment of need, but you were, you couldn't because you had something else you were worried about. It does add up. So I definitely understand it on both ends.
With a letter, legal letter, which comes later. They were very scared of this call coming out because I think it really, really exposes them.
Yeah. So hey, Ethan. It's nice to meet you. Hila, how are you?
Good.
Hello. Good. Hey, Ethan. Thanks for jumping on this call with us. It's really important that we, establish clarity.
You can hear he's scared. I knew at this moment
this is not
they were going to keep the money.
Yeah.
He's like, hi, Ethan. I was like, all right, here we go. This motherfucker's about to spit in my face.
With respect to the concern that you've raised, and you guys have been a great partner of ours since 2017, and we really want to do everything in our power to keep you guys on board. And
you gotta fucking love this guy. Listen, so we really want to find a way to keep you guys on board. When he said that, I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna pay us. He's like, and we're doing nothing for you. So are you staying or what?
And kind of explain our thought process as to how we are looking at your inquiry into the channel membership.
Inquiry, he calls it. That's an interesting way to put what I consider to be theft. Hey, Bernie Madoff, I have a slight inquiry about where you put my money. If you can just get back to me at your earliest convenience.
Revenues from your channel. Is that okay to start off with? I just want to know if you're paying us back or not.
Yeah, I'm not doing this corporate.
Let's not mince words here. Let's not split hairs. Where the fuck's my money?
Bullshit.
Show me the money.
Here to listen to you waste a second of my time. Just tell me, are you paying us back?
At this point, we are not paying Ethan, and I just want to explain.
So yeah, we're not paying Ethan to, but wait, look. It's your fault.
He's scared as fuck. He knows what he's doing is fucked up. Like you could hear it in his voice.
I'm sure, yeah, he's the sacrificial soldier they sent out to do
And
this.
my theory is that she and other officers were in the office with him listening. This is a very important call for them.
Yeah.
They're scared. So I think everybody's kind of listening in. And at certain points, there's like silence, which I think they're probably gesturing to him. That's my theory, of course, just my opinion, as it clearly states here in Ethan's opinion. This is going to be a long show, you guys. This is 15 minutes. It's going to take me a long time.
Oh, boy.
But I'm enjoying it. And that's what matters. You got to turn lemon to lemonade, right, BBTV? I'm over the money. I'm just fucking here for the ride.
So you're not paying us back the $620,000 that you guys skimmed off of money given to us by fans that predated our contract, which was, by the way, crystal clearly negotiated at the time that you guys would give 100% of all that revenue to me. Of course, I was a huge channel at the time. I had no fucking reason to join BBT at all.
Can I just explain our overview of what we've talked about?
The thing is, I just want to say we're both parents. We have 2 children here. We don't have time to spend on like the
He's right.
explaining and the trying to butter us up and trying to this and that.
We've been through this shit.
Cold. That's the way you say it. Don't try and butter me up. I'm here for the meat and potatoes. Give me some real substance. Don't just fucking try and tell me, well, look, you've been a partner with us for a long time. We've done a lot of business for a long time, and, you know, we're very grateful to you, and we know you're very grateful to us as well. But this money is ours now.
So many times, you know what I mean? Like, we know how this goes. I don't care. Just fucking tell me. Cut the bullshit. It doesn't matter.
And it's very clear and clean cut. You guys shouldn't have taken that money, and now we figured out that you did take it. And now the question is, what are you gonna do about it? And that's it. We just want to go. We want to cut to the chase because I have 2 boys here waiting for me.
Yeah. Yes. Go ahead and explain to me how you guys were justified in stealing $630,000 from us. Go ahead.
So now that we've established you're taking the money, I wanted to have him give his rationale to me so I want to see, okay, so tell me, what's the rationale? And I got it. I'm happy to say he laid it all out.
Okay, well, I don't agree to the premise of stealing, but let me explain to our thought process. So on your CPA that you signed on page 2, it defines Google net revenue. Do you see it on your agreement?
So I pull up on the screen all the shit he mentioned. So all the relevant parts. So Google net revenue, in my opinion, is self-apparent. Like Google net revenue, BBTV will pay you an amount equal to 100% of Google net revenue. What is Google net revenue? All money paid to us from...
They kind of shot themselves in the foot with the term net revenue. Google net revenue. If it's coming from Google and it's the money, that's it.
Google. All that money comes in the same basket. The membership.
We're taking from the gross, actually. We give you the
YouTube
net.
Premium. It all comes in the same basket. Okay, so this isn't self-explanatory?
So, in the contract, we state that we will pay you 100% of Google net revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And Google net revenue on page 6 is clearly defined in the definitions as Google ads and Google subscriptions.
Okay, so now they're like, oh, well, this is how we define Google net revenue. It's not everything from Google. We have...
So what the fuck is a Google ad? They're not on Google, they're on YouTube. So is it not YouTube subscription? This is a great pause, but is it not YouTube subscriptions? It's specifically Google subscriptions? Or are you going to be like, we're not talking about memberships. We're talking about your subscribers, and you don't get money from that.
This tricky little thing, so we're trying to get you on a technicality. Now, to anyone listening, I hope it's obvious to you just how unscrupulous what they're doing is. They're clearly taking money that wasn't intended for them and justifying it via this really kind of this contract that's written to take advantage of people. So here they define Google net revenue as money received from Google ads and Google subscriptions with respect to your content. So now this is interesting approach he's taking.
These are the only two revenue products from Google for which we pay you 100% pass through. And we have, Ethan. We've paid you on your Google AdSense, and we paid you.
Yeah, how fucking generous. Thanks for giving my money, idiot. You expect me to fucking clap and dance for you because you paid me my money? Dipshit. Hey, we fulfilled our end of the bargain. Yeah, the deal for you was to not steal money from me. Basically, that was like your whole deal. Now, you might be wondering why BBTV even wants us in their network if they can't take money. They were putting us in promotional materials and pamphlets and flyers to court other people to join their network, and tweets and social posts. So it was to their great advantage to have us in their network, which I regret now because clearly it was used to terrible means if this is the way they do business.
We're fulfilling our contractual agreement by paying you 100% of the Google ads and 100% of the Google subscription.
It's Google products, dude.
So he goes, it's clearly defined as ad revenue and subscriptions. What you'll notice here, he's very quick to define everything. But one thing you'll notice he doesn't define is Google subscriptions. Let's read what in this contract Google subscriptions means. Google subscription means a subscription-based service on YouTube offered or facilitated by Google, whereby end users may access your videos, the timing and selection of which is at such end user's discretion, and for which the end user is charged a predetermined periodic fee to access such content as often as the end user selects during the period covered by the fee. For the avoidance of doubt, Google subscriptions include the Google branded service YouTube Red, which is now YouTube Premium, and any successor or replacement thereof. They're not saying that that's all it is. They're saying it
includes, yeah, a subscription-based service on YouTube. It doesn't say any, but just the term "a" would imply that it would be any subscription-based service on YouTube. And since the membership is a subscription-based service on YouTube, whereby end users may access your videos, the timing and selection of which is at. It's just so perfectly. I really don't understand how they thought.
Because at the time, that was a product that existed.
He was saying it like he was reading it off. Like the dude was saying it like he was reading it off of the document. And I'm wondering how many lines off of each other they were, or if they are very close. And he was like just blatantly ignoring this, like, you know,
people wanted
clause.
To know and to carve out that they weren't taking that money. Because if membership existed, they would have I would have made them carve that in too. So to me, how is membership not a subscription? Even by the way they defined it, it's literally exactly that. It's a subscription-based service facilitated by Google. The timing and selection at which is at the user's discretion. The end user is charged a determinate fee, periodic fee, to access content at any period they want. That's membership. That's what it is. And so you'll notice that he doesn't seem interested in defining Google subscriptions, only the other ones.
Tell me this. What line justifies you guys to take 30% of membership? Go ahead, and what line in the contract says you're entitled to that?
Is that a sponsor that you brought to us? Because taking it out of a sponsor that you brought to us, yes, we've talked about stuff like that. How is money from our members something that you brought to us? I'd like to know.
That revenue is...
Can I ask you a question? Did you bring us members?
Yeah.
Did you bring us members? They come to our channel and click the button.
One of them has a dog. I think Hila has the dog with them or with her, and I just feel like it's the guy. It's not the dog going. Listen closely.
Did you bring us members? They come to our channel and click the button. And
the understanding was clearly that if they bring us business, they get a cut. What happened to that?
Pay us? Do you guys bring us that?
We help you with your overall channel.
How do you help me with my overall channel?
That caught me off guard. I was like, the fuck? Are you even going to try to say that, dummy? Help me with my overall channel.
Well, it's because the guy that they're sending to call you has no actual idea of anything about your channel. He knows you as Ethan Klein. I doubt he probably doesn't even know what H3 Productions is. And he's just making the call going, well, we worked together. We benefited you. It was mutually, it helped. What do you mean?
Can I just explain the contractual?
He's the dog, but he ain't got that dog in him.
Delivery of what we've done on our side and how we
Tell me what part of the contract entitles you to 30% of my members' revenue that's paid to me from YouTube. Go ahead.
Okay, so because that revenue is captured in the definition of other net revenue on page 6.
How?
Other net revenue on page.
Again, he's trying to get us on a technicality, right? Skipping over the fact that it's clearly defined in Google.
I did want to see what this is. Beauty for yeah, because I saw Google Ads, Google subscriptions here, so I was like, what does this actually say? But it says, in such period from the distribution, monetization, and or exploitation of your content in a manner other than through the sales of Google Ads, Google subscriptions, direct ads, other platforms ads, or branded entertainment arrangements, but includes revenue earned and received by BBTV in connection with your content from. Oh, so like this is literally so clear. You didn't earn any of this fucking revenue. So it doesn't even fit in this at all. Even if they're trying to go on like the technicality of it's a Google subscription versus a YouTube subscription.
A technicality, right? Skipping over the fact that it's clearly defined in Google subscriptions. So let's look at other net revenue. So they're already wrong, even by their own, like it's already GG. They're fucking lying. They're wrong. Google subscriptions.
It's a BG, bad game.
It's
Which is
written
on
right
screen.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just making it clear.
It's all in my opinion. Everything I'm saying here is in my opinion.
6 is defines it.
How is it other? Is it by another entity? Is it like stamps.com or like Audible? Like how is it other?
So other net revenue is basically a description of any other revenue product other than Google AdSense
From you.
Google subscription. Yes.
No.
This is the.
So
honestly, they were too heated. They should have just right there gone, how are our YouTube memberships how does that not fall under Google subscriptions? Because just hearing the term Google subscription over and over again, I would have been like, how does our YouTube membership not fall under Google subscriptions?
ignoring the fact that it clearly fits into Google subscription, let me read the definition. Other net revenue for any period means revenue earned and received by BBTV in such period from the distribution, monetization, or the exploitation of your content in a matter other than through the sale of Google Ads, Google subscriptions, direct ads, other platform ads, or branded entertainment arrangement.
So it even has an exception for Google subscriptions.
Oh, it says that everywhere.
In this other category.
Yeah, I mean,
right there.
Yeah, it's carved out everywhere. And so they're saying that because it's not specifically a service that didn't even exist, let me emphasize that when I signed this contract, because it's not specifically listed somehow clairvoyantly, then they're entitled to the 70%. Because at the time when I signed this contract, this was all like, okay, sure, if you bring me ads, if you bring me direct ads, if you sell my content on other platforms, whatever, yeah, you can have a cut of that. I don't give a fuck. There was nothing, and this is why the spirit of the contract, in my opinion, is important, because in essence, it was, if you bring me something, you get a cut. Everything I do is mine. And this is a clear violation.
I mean, it said it very clearly, earned and received. They had to have earned it through BBTV, not just received it through a, deposit.
Bad faith violation. It's a dirty, dirty trick. And in my opinion, I think what happened is that these networks, they know shit before the general population does, I think. And they knew about memberships coming down the line. In fact, YouTube probably told them all, like, hey, here's a new product you need to be aware of so that you know how to talk about it with your members. And so what BBTV did, in my opinion, is that they gathered around and made this very intentional decision to say, hey, this could be a great opportunity for us to steal, in my opinion, a ton of money for our.
Because that is the thing. If they did collude to kind of put that in place as just under you know, doing it behind the scenes, not telling anyone, then it is worse than them just, you know, if they just like were ignorant and it just happened, because they could have written it into the new contracts. You know what I mean? They could have been like, oh, this new thing happened, so we wrote up a new contract to help, like, you know, kind of create a carve out for this. But then they probably knew, again, this is all speculation, but if they would do that, you would presume that a lot of the people that were with you would want to leave because they would want to keep 100% of those memberships.
Our failing, dying business, essentially.
Dying in your opinion, but somewhat objectively too.
Yeah, I mean, their stock price is down. Go to Max. Dude, I freaked out. It's down 97%. When I saw this, I was like, I'm never getting paid. I'm never getting paid.
Down 10% today.
They don't 10% of zero is what? I mean, what the fuck? It's down 4 it's down 4 cents.
Down 4 cents.
It's like, oh boy, they're down 4 cents. And so in my opinion, this is just speculation, but they came together with attorneys and their leadership and said, we think, try to justify this if we need to, because it's not specified in the contract. It didn't exist. They don't expect anyone to really challenge them because their whole business, in my opinion, is strong, ripping people off and then strong arming them and making it too hard or not worth it to pursue to get the money back, in my opinion.
I just, out of curiosity, went into my bank statement to check, because I have a membership on the channel on one of my alternate accounts, so I can see the members' content to check up on it for my phone and stuff. And it is charged as Google. It's a Google subscription.
Oh, you're paying Google.
Yeah.
It says Google subscription in the app.
That's what I'm saying.
So, like, they know that this is bull.
Like, I'm being charged for a subscription from Google. I don't,
Thank you.
It's pretty
Exactly.
clear.
It's like, okay, it's almost like mind-numbingly dumb. It's hard to rationalize.
I went to try and find their stock, and I could only find it on weird websites because I'm just not good at looking stuff up, I guess. But it's still extremely low. It's 0.37.
Why they decided to go down this path. And the only logical explanation I can think of is that they just don't have the money to pay me back. Because their value, like $630,000 is like a significant amount of their on-hand money. So anyway, they made this concerted agreement within the organization, in my opinion, to do this, to steal this money. And the crazy part is that they didn't tell anyone, at least myself, I'm assuming, although I've heard from other creators in their network, they didn't tell them anything. There was no negotiation. There was no notification. They just silently, shadily siphoned this money as it came in. Now, that alone is so unethical. It's so fucked up. Like, that's plain to see, right? I mean, what the fuck, dude?
Please ask your lawyer to review page 6. Yes.
Did the membership program exist when we signed this contract? Did it exist when we signed this contract?
We recorded.
I think Ethan's right. At that moment, the dude was on the call, and then he went. He just put his hand on the thing. Did it exist? Did it exist? They're like, no, it didn't, but it doesn't matter.
Membership revenue in 2017 for you.
No, it
It didn't even exist. What are you talking about?
No, we have.
Yeah, so he's lying to me.
What could he be confusing that with?
I have no idea. I don't have the access. I don't even have access to the records he's talking about. But I know memberships didn't exist.
Could he be
till 2018.
meaning YouTube Premium?
I don't know.
They seem to define that as a membership.
I have no idea.
YouTube
I don't know
Premium.
what he's referring to.
Right.
But I do know we're talking about memberships.
Right.
That's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
Memberships wasn't even launched to 2018. We signed in 2017. Now, what's interesting, as he tries to lie to me, is that there was a employee who I want to keep anonymous, and they were able to confirm on the call that membership didn't exist till 2018. So he's basically just caught straight up fucking lying to my face.
God hates liars.
We have the record for
Can you chime in here? What do you think about what you're hearing here?
This is anonymous YouTube employee explains that memberships were introduced in 2018, therefore doesn't understand how they could have recorded that.
Also, there's tons of articles online.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good because he couldn't fucking.
Right.
It just shut him down. You know what I mean? Like I could tell him all day long, but
No, it's not my intent to lie to you, Ethan. It's not
You
my
just
intent.
lied to me. You just lied to me. In fact, you doubled down when I called you out. You said it existed. It did not exist. Now that we've established that it doesn't exist via somebody from YouTube, do you want to tell me now that you guys were just going to skim that without mentioning anything? It wasn't covered because when we negotiated, it was all YouTube revenue, was 100% to us. So at what point, when they introduced a new product, at what point were you guys just going to passively take 30% of that? Happily? Silently?
We were executing the term of the agreement, Ethan. Ethan, the agreement you signed. It's a 70. No,
So
let me
is this
finish.
what it is?
Okay,
I'm just trying to explain what you have to say, bro.
He's getting really mad now. Both of them, you could tell the dude on the other line, and the other end of the line is getting upset too. He's like, listen, man, I'm just the fucking guy who, don't shoot the messenger.
No, you have nothing to explain to me. I know exactly what you're saying. You're going to try to explain that you guys were justified in stealing money from us because of some other vague bullshit about other. So here's what's going to happen. You guys aren't going to pay us back.
No, it's just not.
I like to assume that instead of calling him his name each time it's bleeped, Ethan's calling him fuckface. He's going, so listen here, fuckface.
I don't care. Okay.
Even in the additional revenue, which they're trying to use to fuck us, if you go to line 3, it says 70% of other net revenue, or as the parties may agree upon in writing on a case-by-case basis. Now, you might be able to argue or 70% of it, but why would you need the option if they can just do whatever they want? It's the point of this is to say that we need to agree upon on a case-by-case basis in writing before you steal my fucking money. They did not notify me or anyone as far as I can tell. So even in their own fucking loopholes they're trying to find, they're still wrong.
I don't care. We'll have lawyers figure out if it's vague or not.
I'm not trying to negotiate with you, Ethan.
No.
I'm trying to explain to you how we executed.
No.
And one of the reasons I keep highlighting Sharzad is that she is, in my opinion, cleverly staying, not dirtying her hands. But at the end of the day, she's the one making this decision. This guy is just a fall guy. He's a stooge. And I'll tell you what, we're going to find out the truth, Sharzad, because I'm going to depose each and every fucking one of you. And I'll spend twice as much money to do it as you guys owe me. Because I don't give a fuck. Because I'm going to find out some really nasty shit about you guys. You know, when you guys get deposed, and also when we subpoena records, emails, messages, it's all going to be there. You're going to be talking to them about this. And Sharzad, I know you're watching. Don't erase evidence. That's illegal. You might be going to your email now and saying, oh,
BBTV did gotted, and Ethan getted them.
oh shit, I better erase all my communications so it seems like I didn't know anything about this. That's illegal. In fact, I can subpoena Google and get the deleted emails from you, so don't bother. And I will. That's the crazy part. I have the money to do this, and I'm fucking crazy enough to do it. That's the part that's absolutely fucking nuts, right? Like, I just don't care. You fucked me. You fucked me. You fucked me in the ass, Sharzad.
No,
you understand what you did?
Wasn't me.
So yeah, I mean, listen, Sharzad, you're the captain, okay? This guy's just a stooge. Y'all really think I'm dumb as hell. I don't wonder if she's been deposed before. It's really unpleasant, especially when you have stuff to hide. Because you can't lie in deposition. You have to take an oath. You know, I could ask her all kinds of questions like, when did you decide as a company to take this revenue? Was there ever any discussions internally if you should notify channel owners? Because she can't lie about it, and we'll find the communication. Are you watching this, Sharzad? I hope you're sweating, because you may have potentially broken the law. And that's what I'm really after. If there's a way to get criminal charges, that's what I'm going to try to pursue. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'll definitely be doing both if possible. I just don't fucking care. This is fun for me.
How is there still 7 more minutes of this call?
Do you understand that? This is what, like, turns me on. This is what gets me going.
That turns me
Nothing gets me hard like paying attorneys hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's my favorite pastime. I've literally put my lawyer's great-grandchildren through college, and I don't care. If justice is expensive, I'll pay whatever I need to.
The agreement that we signed, that's what I'm trying to explain.
No, you're trying to justify something that makes no sense. In what world, if a new product is introduced, you just decided to take money out of it without bringing a negotiation conversation to us? You just decided it on your own?
Oh, never mind. That was the dog again. For a second, I thought that was someone murmuring in the room with him.
You didn't egg
Because the revenue share is captured in our agreement under other net revenue defined.
It did not exist. It didn't exist. So when we made the agreement, it was not included in the agreement.
It doesn't initially have to exist.
Really?
It doesn't initially have to.
It doesn't have to exist. It does if it's a Google product.
Genuinely thought, I didn't even think about it because our contract to me was so clear. I didn't even think that they would be taking that money. It's crazy to me. And when you hear him talking about the justification via the contract, I hope it's so obvious to everybody how they know how unjustified this is. That is just straight up theft, in my opinion.
So
Listen.
Teddy Fresh didn't exist. My company, Teddy Fresh, didn't exist. But if you want, you might be entitled for 30% out of my other company.
Why not?
Ethan, I'm not trying to stimulate a war between us. I'm just trying to explain to you how we executed the agreement that we contractually signed. That's all.
I just love it because it's almost like they're trying to play both sides. Be like, well, we're not trying to come at you aggressively. We're not trying to start any issues. We don't understand why this is becoming such a big deal. All we're doing is saying we're going to keep $600,000 we took from you without informing you that we were going to take this money. We understand that it was a new product that YouTube implemented after our contract. We don't care. We are considering it other net revenue, even though it is clearly a Google subscription because YouTube is a product owned by Google. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Do you guys know what you're getting?
Well, you should understand what you are saying, though, because this is a lot of money that you guys took without saying a word to us, and we just found out. So you can't just act so nonchalant about it. We are very serious about it, and this is going to be very serious if this is the road you want to take.
Again, I'm not trying to stimulate a war between us. Ethan.
All right.
You're right. Alfredo and Shredder are a big part of this. That's why they had to be on the phone call.
You guys will hear from our attorneys. This is over, and I'll have plenty to say. Not to you guys, but obviously our fans are going to know what happened to $620,000 that they thought were giving to us, that our network was actually stealing from us. We'll talk about it. We will talk about it, but not any longer in this conversation.
Honestly, I was just over it because it was obvious that
The conversation wasn't
we
going
weren't getting
anywhere at that
anywhere.
point. Yeah, no, they weren't budging.
And I was just wasting my breath. But here is my favorite part that comes up here is he tries to make this really interesting and potentially cute justification.
So,
I was about to hang up.
The sad part is that is basically what they're saying. We wrongfully took $620,000, but we don't want to start a war with you. And you know what's sad is that probably has worked to a bunch of people, like with a bunch of their clients, just telling them, hey man, we're sorry you feel that way, but actually it's part of the contract that you signed. Remember that contract you signed? You didn't read it fully? Didn't read it thoroughly enough? Sorry. That's kind of your problem now. When in reality, someone with I won't even say like a normal IQ. I'll be nice and say someone with a little bit of a understanding of the game would realize that they're just trying to fucking brush it under the rug. They're trying to scare you into thinking that, oh, this isn't going to go anywhere, bro. We have the contract to prove that this is all okay. Because that's what they keep bringing it back to is, I'm just telling you how we made this contract, just continue.
Fuck you.
It is officially 12. And we have no thumbnail and no title. Let me put up a poll to see.
Fuck your company.
When will the
You guys
HD
are
podcast
thieves.
start to?
And deep down, you know you're a thief. That's
In my
what's so
opinion.
funny. You're on the phone trying to justify it, but you know that what you're doing is theft. You know you're stealing money. And I don't know if it's because BBTV is broke. You guys just took a $20 million loan to pay back your fucking debts because you're incompetent losers that can't run a fucking business. That's possible that you guys don't even have the money.
That was for what I imagined to be the room full of leadership sitting in there with him.
Yeah, no, I 100% believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all on the conference call.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, we'll find that out too in Discovery. But what's interesting to you, right, is that you're fucking stealing our money. That's what's so interesting. You're gonna sit here and you're gonna try to justify it in some vague other bullshit about a program that didn't even fucking exist, as you guys secretly and quietly skimmed off the top. You know you fucking stole from us, and that's the best part about it. Like, it's indefensible. And go back to your boss. What's her name? What's your CEO?
This was the headline that I love. This is BBTV CEO Shahrzad Rafati on why ethical business decisions are good business decisions. See, she's posturing herself like this altruistic, she's just this incredible business leader.
I mean, she's not wrong. Now they've done something unethical, and it's probably going to be bad for business. There you go. So she was right. She was right. She was totally right.
Yeah, it's well said, Dan. I think, okay, so maybe she is smarter than I give her credit for.
I can find it right now. I mean, what is it?
What is it, a
BBTV?
secret? Are you not proud of who your
No,
CEO is?
It's Shahrzad Rafati.
I would want to know if she wants to talk to us before we go down this road. If you want to ask her one more time, if she wants to talk to us, if you want to reconsider this, if this is your final answer.
I'm going to have a call with her. I will have a call with her. Obviously, I want to be able to raise where you're coming from.
Do you guys even have the money? Do you guys even have the money?
Ethan.
Oh, that's another okay, Ethan.
It's not, there was no okay, unfortunately.
But it's right there.
It was the same energy, yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Ethan. Okay, Ethan.
Good question.
I mean,
you guys are. I'm just curious how did this surface?
Okay, so this is my favorite part. This is like saying the quiet part out loud, and he really fucked up, in my opinion. He really gives away the whole game here. I'm going back a little bit because I want to make sure that we capture this moment.
I mean,
you guys are. I'm just curious how did this surface? You guys are on a.
Saying that too like that. How did this surface? How did you guys figure out that we were doing this?
Monthly, on a month-to-month contract with us, and you guys could have walked at any point over the past 2 years if you saw this occurrence, and it's been, you've been rolling.
Dude,
over.
You're like a perfect villain. I mean,
what are you saying?
We were just cracking up because they're like, did you really fucking just say that? I mean, he's blaming us for trusting them.
Right.
Bro, why, if you knew that we were stealing from you, why didn't you leave sooner? Yes, we robbed you, but it's your fault for not checking your security cameras. You didn't notice
that we were robbing you.
We didn't tell you we were robbing you. It's your fault for trusting us. Don't you know we're all scumbags? Shame on you. And he's right. Essentially, he is right. Funnily enough, but I don't think he's supposed to say that out loud. Like I said, there was an unfortunate situation with our last head of finance where she was supposed to check this and she didn't. So he is right, He's like, listen, we exist to steal as much money from you as possible. If you didn't notice that, that's on you, in my opinion.
It's just funny because it is saying the quiet part out loud where sometimes there is negligence in a company. Like the fact that their accountant didn't account for this money that was being taken and siphoned out of their funding. But that does not mean that it's okay to then, that doesn't mean that it was okay in the end. You know what I mean? Like, they fired her because of it. If you guys are saying that you were doing this on purpose, then something needs to be done about it. If it was an accident, then the people that made it happen need to be fired. It's not just going like, well, things happen. How did you only find out about this now?
This is great. Yeah, people are posting Google subscriptions. What the fuck, dude? H3 podcast membership. It's literally in Google subscriptions, you guys. It's literally right there. It's right there, you guys.
Bro, we can't play it. It's cursed.
It's cursed. This is funny because it's so absurd. You fucking idiots. You dumb fucking idiots. Really went down this road and tried to tell me a reoccurring payment in Google subscriptions tab is not a Google subscription. Okay, geniuses. Yes, it's my fault for trusting you guys.
Question. No, I know, and it's a perfectly good question. Like, I mean, if I have like a pile of money, and my friends come over and just take it out of there, I could have locked it. Like, what a fucking idiot am I for not locking up my money so my friends can come in and take it off the top? I mean, how silly of me not to lock my fucking money up. But, you know, you're making it so easy.
And that makes sense too, that they're just trying to justify it because they couldn't afford such a high amount. And the thing is yeah, if you could prove that they were doing this maliciously, that maybe they did sign the like let's say that there is another world, and in this world you could say that they were actually signed into this contract but were trying to use their own loophole to basically redirect this money to then create this lawsuit to have it fund, get the fund back. Basically, you could like come up with something like that where you're like, are you just trying to destroy our company? What's the issue? Do you just not like us or something, man? What did we ever do to you? But I mean, it's clearly not the case, because like just that, I feel like that, like it was just so clear cut the way it was written. Like their contract is just so like clearly stated.
For me.
You make it so easy. Question: Did you and your legal team review your agreement? I'm just asking the question. Did you have full oversight?
Do you realize how easy?
Yeah, because it's worth it for them to BS through it, even if they know that they're gonna have to pay in the end, because it prolongs the inevitable. They can figure out how they're gonna pay it in time.
You're making this? That's your best argument to justify this? Why didn't you
Not an argument.
leave earlier?
I'm just asking you a question. I'm just trying to understand.
Well,
I will say, I don't know if you represent the CEO in your end, like.
So before I get to Hila's great point here, your subscription from Google Commerce, H3 Podcast membership, subscription, auto renewing, €5 a month. Gee whiz, man. Here's another one. I mean, it's obvious, but I just want them to know. Channel membership, H3 Podcast, subscriptions. It says everywhere, subscriptions, every platform.
Here was an argument I was thinking of, though. Some people might think, oh, it's an Apple subscription. See, Apple, we're getting it from Apple, but it's still coming from YouTube. It's a Google product. Your Google subscriptions would show up in Apple ID subscriptions.
Membership, H3 Podcast, subscriptions. It says everywhere, subscriptions, every platform, every device. It's defined clearly in the contract. They're like, no, it's not subscriptions, it's memberships. The thing that didn't exist at the time. Hey, dummies, how does it feel to be so fucking dumb? How stupid do you feel right now? Like, just take...
Apparently there was a earthquake. I wonder if that's why the podcast is late today.
Take a moment and realize...
There was an earthquake,
Charzad,
oh no.
Everything you built over all these years has led you to this moment, where you tried to steal money from me, and the result of this is likely to be the bankruptcy of your company. And potentially criminal charges would be the cherry on top, but we'll see. Probably not. These things are hard. It's hard to prosecute people, white-collar crimes. This woman steals $630,000 from me? Good luck. If I steal a Twix from the Circle K, going to jail for 10 years. It's disgusting. You know how many Twix you could buy with $630,000? Probably about 630,000. That's like 1.2 million Twix. Charzad, look at the face. This is the face that you fucked over. You fucked me. You understand what that means? You didn't think I would play this call, did you? I don't fucking care.
Amen. Oh, it was in San Diego. All I saw was just a headline from just saying another California earthquake.
I don't. Arrest me. I'll die for this shit. And here you
I
are
just saw
trying to
5.1
say it's
earthquake,
not a
California.
Google subscription. Like, all this for that? You're going to throw away everything you've built for that? And now look, now you're going to have to be deposed. You're going to be subpoenaed. You're going to have to pay lawyers. It's expensive to defend. It's expensive to sue. It's expensive to defend. I know. All this for that. I mean, geez Louise. But it's all in the call, So here's Hila when she clarifies.
I hope the animals from the zoo broke free from this. I hope that the earthquake caused the bars to bend and break open, and now all the gorillas are out, beating their chest.
That something really important again.
By this, why didn't you
Not an argument.
leave earlier?
I'm just asking you a question. I'm just trying to understand.
Well,
I will say, I don't know if you represent the CEO in your end, like what you're telling us today. Is that a representation of what she would want for your company as well? Have you guys talked about it before and this is the final answer? Or do you want to bring this topic to her?
As I said, we've reviewed this with our legal and finance, our counsel and finance and our finance teams.
Right.
Honestly, the question then right there, who is we and who is our? Like, who is the we in this conversation? I'm asking you directly, is this coming from the top? Yes or no?
And I'm happy to have, I will obviously have a follow-up call with Sarah to explain.
I think she should know. I think she should know before you guys go into this. She should know what you guys are getting yourself into.
Oh wait, he knows, Hila. He knows.
I don't think she knows.
So Hila's so smart because again, she's really trying to keep her hands clean. Yet of course she is the captain of this boat. And Hila keeps saying, because they're trying to claim in the lawyer letters they sent me, they're like, well, you acted unrashly and you didn't give us enough time. And they're really being dishonest, right? And it's a strategy because we gave them the whole week to come together and bring us this decision. And she's been involved, in my opinion, based on the way he's responding. She's been involved the whole time. It passed through legal, financial, the head of partnership management, and somehow the CEO is just oblivious to all this? Fuck no.
She knows. They know what they're doing. I don't think they have the money, frankly. I think they spent it paying themselves. Because they don't have a fucking income. They just pay themselves. I was probably, you know what, to be fair, Hila, I was probably the single biggest source of income for their whole business in fucking over the past few years. Because how else do they make money?
Right.
This was just an aside with me and Eli. You know what I mean? We were just chatting at this point. He just happens to be on the call with us.
You know what I mean? Like, where I don't know where that money's coming from. I'm glad to keep you guys open. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, Ethan, just to keep this constructive on a go forward,
no,
why don't we just have a conversation?
No.
So we will schedule a call with you guys on Monday if you're okay with that.
Wait, who? Sorry.
I'm gonna go back to our team and we'll set up a call. We'll set up a call.
This is what they do. They just delay. They put off. This is like a well-known tactic, right? When you owe someone money.
Yeah.
You delay, put off, kick the can. Their intentions are clear, very clear here, and we say that.
If you guys aren't paying us back, I don't want to fucking talk anymore.
And that's the thing. I don't know that we can spend. We can't spend a lot of time on this. So I mean, you can just send us an email. You know, just let us know in email.
Yeah, I mean.
If it's going to be the same answer, we're not going to want to spend more time on this. So you can let us know in email if anything changes. And hopefully before Monday morning, because we have a show in which we're going to want to talk about this.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely want to explain it in great detail, actually.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They did. My fans deserve to know.
And here we are.
How do I say her name?
Sharzad.
He didn't want to give it up for a second. He went, shit.
Sharzad Rafati. Okay. I look forward to our future friendship together.
I do too.
I'm very excited. And you're cool. I like you. Sorry that you're...
I'm talking to my direct rep, who's like very low down the totem pole. He was the only guy who was admitting to being on that call, and that I think I cut it out in the beginning for brevity, and also I didn't want to say his name.
Part of such a fucking disgusting group of criminals. I would leave the sinking ship now. They're obviously on the verge of bankruptcy if they're stealing money from us and taking $20 million loans. Please start looking for a new job. You're better than this.
I appreciate the call, Ethan. Yeah, we'll follow up as soon as we can with next steps.
Fantastic. What a great call. What a great call. Fantastic. Love you guys.
Oh,
great.
Lord.
Appreciate it.
So I knew. I was like, all right, these call. And that.
Leave the sinking ship now. Fantastic. What a great call. What a...
Yes.
Do you guys know what you're getting?
Well, you should understand what you are saying, though, because this is found out, and this is going to be
a war between us.
I feel like his voice is different at the end.
Obviously on the verge of bankruptcy if they're stealing money from us and taking $20 million loans. Please start looking for
I'm going conspiracy theorist.
I appreciate appreciate the call, Ethan. Yeah, we'll follow up as soon as we can with next steps.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Fantastic. What a great call.
Maybe that's the YouTube rep. Maybe that's what it is.
What a great call. Fantastic. Love you guys.
Oh,
Great.
Lord.
Appreciate it.
So I knew. I was like,
Crazy.
all right, these motherfuckers really want to go down this road. I see a lot of people saying, and I had the same opinion myself, why would they possibly choose this path instead of just paying me back? The only plausible explanation I can think of is that they don't have the money. Because, like, how the fuck did they think that this would go their way?
Well, like I said at the beginning of the show.
Title in thumbnail. Oh, goodbye, AB. Bon voyage. Is it clickbait? Probably. But maybe not. It could be real. Maybe he's going on a vacation. That is also possible. This does look kind of thrown. They just started like that. Quick as hell. Well, thank you all for watching. It has been fun. As always, remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And go check out the H3 podcast. This has been the unofficial H3 waiting room. And I am Captain Quasar, signing off.